Hi everybody, old guy here, and like 99% of the rest of America, I am working from home today. One must dress the part. So, since most of you are either quarantined or practicing social distancing, I have decided to do this public service announcement giving you recommendations for books out of my own library that you should read while you're hunkered down behind your walls of toilet paper, waiting for the zombies to rise. Now, I realize that a lot of these books you may not have in your personal collection, but that's okay. You can go to the library or the bookstore and get them. Maybe you shouldn't do that. So instead, you go to your library's download system. In Shenandoah Valley, we have the Blue Ridge Download Consortium, or go to Amazon and have them delivered. All right, let's get started. Now, the first group I've got is Catapult Ammo, basically. It's a huge trilogy by Neal Stephenson. I think it's called the System of the World trilogy. I could be wrong. I'm too lazy to open it up and see. But it's these three Hummers, which should keep you busy for at least a couple of weeks. It is an extraordinary story about the time period of about the King Charles beheading and the years before and the years after, and has one of my favorite characters in literature named Half-Cocked Jack. You figure out what that means. That should take you through the first week of your quarantine. All right, what else we got? Going to the classics, we have William Godwin. This book, St. Leon, probably one you've not heard of, but his daughter is Mary Shelley, the one who wrote Frankenstein. And he's no slouch in the scary gothic horror department himself. So give this one a chance. But make sure you're quarantining with somebody because this is scary stuff. Absolutely the best Heinlein. Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Talk about being isolated and having to fight your way back to society. This is one of those books. Obviously. Going away from fiction, we go to Expanding the Mind with probably the best Victor Davis Hanson book written, A War Like No Other, which is almost a blow-by-blow description, so to speak, of the Peloponnesian War. And you will read this and you will go, my goodness, how in the world did the Greeks survive? This is a great book. Spend some time. You probably shouldn't read this one alone. Now, this book has taken a beating, but it is one of my favorite post-apocalyptic, in this case, post-nuclear books, because it's one of the first ones, really, written in the 1950s, and very well done. I mean, it's not one that has been really topped by anything since. So, yeah. Although I know, we're not talking about nukes here, we're talking viruses. It's a toss-up between The Grapes of Wrath or East of Eden as the best John Steinbeck book. This one gets my vote. This is a great book. It really is. It's a little hard to follow because it's written in a postmodernist, almost MFA type of manner, but man, this is just a really good story about the 1968 Czech revolt. And there was a pretty good movie with it, too. Anything by Richard Russo. Anything. Again, not a fiction book, but The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson is a extraordinary read about America's first known serial killer, although I'm sure there were a few before him. And this, the perfect book for your situation. A Virus Destroying Civilization. And this is a classic also, written in the 1950s, I think. 1958, 59, 61, 62, 1949. So, you know, people have been thinking about this for a while, but this is very well done. It's an extremely good book. And to me, is like the, between this and Alas, Babylon, pretty much created the post-apocalyptic novel. So, that should get you through the next 2 to 3 weeks before the virus mutates and turns us all into The Walking Dead. Until then, enjoy, and I'll be back with some more reviews later. Old guy here. See you later.